Well, Carter Maines plays left tackle for us. He also plays on the defensive line. He'll play, and he's a two-way starter. I can't say enough about his leadership at practice. I've told some people he's kind of like my assistant offensive line coach. He makes sure that he keeps these other kids, make sure when we're running drills, they're doing the right things. If I'm over with another one, he's making corrections. He shows great leadership in that area. Like I said, with the kids, he understands some of these younger kids that are playing and some of the guys that are newer to the varsity level. He helps them, guides them through and really, he's a kid that I can count on. He's a leader on the field. He's a leader in the weight room, and, he's another kid just phenomenal in the classroom. Makes phenomenal grades, and, we're real proud of what he does for this football team. So, he made a lot of great plays the other night. I know that the scoreboard doesn't really reflect that, but, a lot of times with linemen, you don't necessarily know exactly what all they've done, but he played really well and graded out well for what, his job. So we're real proud of what he's bringing to us right now.
I'm Carter Maines. I'll be a senior this year. I'm left tackle and defensive end. Expectations, personally, I want to try to lead us as much as I can for the team. I want us to be doing as good as we can, as often as we can, high up tempo, as much as we can get done early, the better. It's a little bit different than last year, obviously, with the new system, but it's great. Change is something we all felt like we needed a little bit of last year, and it's what we got. New system, we think, fits us personally better with our personnel. Just who we have with our quarterback, Drew, can fling it all over the field. I think it's easier to protect for us up front on the line. Got good receivers. There's a lot of us going both ways and a lot of us never coming off the field. It's a good feeling, actually, just knowing that you got to be on there at all times.
Well, Coach, it looks like you got a good student athlete on your hands and a good leader for your team.
I couldn't ask for, as great a football player as he is for us, he's even a better, person and a better teammate. So, when you've got kids like that, you've really got a foundation to put a program around.
All right, well, let's now talk about junior starter Kelton Moody.
Wow, he's a high energy, high motor kid. I mean, he is all over the field. He runs sideline to sideline. Leaves everything out there on the field. He goes, he's one kid that he may even go harder in practice than he does in a game. He's just always, wherever he's going, it's full speed, it's full tilt, and all out. And, he really makes, he really gives us a chance, defensively, because he can make, he can play sideline to sideline. And, he's just been a kid, that really you appreciate his engine and motor because he shows up every day, and you don't have to coach effort with him. He just gets out there. You tell him to go somewhere, he gets there, and it makes it so much easier when you can get right into fundamentals, and working with the kids, getting better at those things. And that's been, when he gets there, he gets there and ready to make a play. And, so those are two big things that really help you out. And, he picks up on Coach Thomas's defense, so quick, and, we move him around, play him in a lot of different places. And that versatility also, really helps us out as a team.
My name is Kelton Moody, number 20, junior linebacker. Coming out with a new coach, a lot of our teammates see it as hard, but then in the end, we all needed a change to come. And then Coach Steger is helping us out a lot with the new change. It's going to spread us out, give us more opportunities to throw the ball a little bit. And there, after the first few weeks, you started getting to know him, getting along with his personality, and you're just starting to really, really love his personality and how he coaches and everything else. And like most people say, we're country boys. We don't take much from nobody. So if we're going to get knocked down, we'll get right back up and go at the next play.
Well, Coach, it looks like you have a player on your hands that you don't have to teach any kind of toughness or any kind of attitude towards, and those are the ones that you need to keep on your team.
Oh, like I said, we're real excited about some of these younger players and what they can do for the football program. So, we're just going to continue to coach them hard as a staff, and hopefully we can develop them, bring them along, and build that foundation we're trying to build.
Twin side 49, B solid on one, twin side 49, B solid on one. Ready?
All right, now.